I got this question posted to the comments, I believe. I got this question posted to me on the second. This question was posted to my video, Hexcrawling 101, Class 2, Why Hexcrawling, by Brandon Smith. Hope it's okay if I used your name, Brandon. It's public on YouTube, so I'm hoping it's okay. If it's not, please let me know, and I will re-upload this and credit redacted with the question. This is all something that I hope I'll be able to do. Have some quick videos, answer some questions, things like that. So if you like this format, it's not a stream. I'm just recording it, and it's hopefully it'll be fast and get a question and an answer that works. Let me know in the comments and all that good stuff, and I will proceed accordingly. Anyway, back to Brandon's question. He asks, what do you think of 1d6 features and layers per 6 mile hex? Got the idea out of Todd Leback's Into the Wild and filling in the blanks. Well, we Todds ought to stick together. First of all, I would say I don't have a problem with putting 1d6 of anything in your hex. Here's my philosophy. I think that ultimately you want to use the number and the method that's going to make it easiest for you to run hex crawls. The issue that I could potentially see with 1d6 is that if you're rolling 4, 5, 6, you might start to look at it as a slog, and you might think, oh, this is too much. You might run out of inspiration. Of course, there are ways around that. You can use random tables. You can use other creative prompts. You can, no doubt, you can get around it, but you might see that as a burden, as opposed to if you roll 1, 2, or 3. So what I would say is just start with one. One interesting thing, whether it's a layer, a structure, something else, per hex. See how that feels for you. See how that flows in your game. In my mind, even if you just have one thing that's established in the hex, by the time you get people moving through it and you're rolling random encounters and there are other things happening in your game where other pieces are moving along the map, then it's probably not going to seem like this super empty hex with just one thing in it. But that's going to be very dependent upon you and your table and how you're playing the game. If you look at that one hex, say 5 or 6 miles, which equates to 30 some odd square miles of territory, and you think to yourself, yeah, my party's going to expect more, or I really feel like one thing in 30 square miles isn't enough, then by all means, add a second one, add a third one. If you'd like to feel like you've got some more sort of random distributions going to make it seem more organic, then sure, roll a d6. For me, at least starting out, I would just go with one that's very manageable. And you can always take multiple swings at something. You can go through, take your hex map, take one turn through it, and put one thing down in each hex. Then you can either start playing, do other prep, come back, and then as you're just revisiting the map, either during play, while you're prep, you can come back and say, okay, I had one thing on that hex, on each hex. I did that last week. This week, let's add a second thing to each hex. Let's add a third thing to each hex. I think the die is interesting because I imagine it's supposed to make it feel like everything isn't standard, that in some places there's more stuff, in some places there's less stuff. I don't know that I need the die roll for that. I might look at the terrain, where it is, what context I've built around it to determine. And like I said, the players, at least the way I'm playing, aren't seeing hex boundaries. They're not seeing hex contents like they might, in a way that would make it visible to them how many things happen to be put in that hex. It's really for me and for my usage. So I'm going to go with what's manageable and easy to use for me, because with all these tools, the tool is there to be used. If the tool gets to a place where you think I can't use it, then it's not doing what it's supposed to do. If you find 1d6 works, gives you the kind of organic layout that you want, that kind of distribution, a little bit random. Ooh, some places are more empty, some places are more full. That's great. If you just want to look at the terrain and say, wow, I have mountains surrounded by swamps, there's probably not a lot going on here, so I'm just going to have one thing in this hex. Ooh, but look at this other one. It's surrounded by rivers and lush forests, so I'm going to give it 5 things. That's fine too. And if you just want to say, look, one thing or even nothing, I look at this hex and I'm like, there's really nothing here. I want it to be kind of barren or bare or virgin and untouched by the hands of whomever, then that's also fine too. Ultimately, what feels right, what sounds right to you, and once you get to using it, what's going to help you prep. That's really the most important thing. So pick 1, pick 2, pick 3, roll a d4, a d6, roll a d20 if you want to get super crazy. Hope that helps, Brendan. Like I said, I hope to do more of these soon. If you like these, a thumbs up would be awesome. A subscription to the channel would be super awesome. Let me know in the comments if you like this thing. If you have other questions that you'd like to hear my take on, feel free to send them to me. YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, basically wherever you can find me. I lurk in a bunch of places on Discord. I'm in a bunch of places. Find me, send me out the message, and hopefully it will inspire to make a little video like this. Have a great rest of your day, night, whenever you end up watching or listening to this. Game on, everybody, and I'll talk to you later.